Welcome to Beading with Machi Wapak Winyu. I'm your host, Lydia Sturby. So today we're going to make a keychain just in time for Father's Day. And so in your kit you would have received a piece of leather with the cabochons already on them and the key ring already ready to go, a needle, some thread to match, the beads, and a little wax heart. So if your thread starts to fray, you're going to rub it across there. So to get started, you're going to get a piece of your thread, and I usually go from the middle of my finger and stretch my arm out and go all the way to the opposite shoulder. Then you're going to thread your needle, and I'm going to show you how to do multiple knots in one place. So Janine Crouchy, a local artisan here, has shown me this. So if you lay the tail of your thread, sorry, not the tail, the working end of your thread across, you kind of make this loop from the eye of the needle around, and then you're going to wind this around the needle a few times and slide that all the way down your string, and it just somehow knows when to stop, and then you get multiple needles in one place. Okay, to get us started, it doesn't matter which side you start on. I'm going to start on this one. I'm just going to come up right next to my cabochon through the leather and pull. I'm going to dump some beads out. So you might have more of one color, and that's fine. You can decide what kind of pattern you want to make, and remember that we're going to be doing an edging, so if you want your pattern to match all around, that's up to you. I think that what I would like to do is I'm going to just do a yellow and pink pattern around my cabochon to start. And I'm going to kind of go do the infinity tacking down. So I'm going to do 4 beads at a time. I'm going to push them as far as they go, and then I'm going to come down right at the end of that and push through. Okay. So they're lined up just next to there. And then I'm going to come up between beads 2 and 3, and I'm going to pull my string through, and then I'm going to go out through the holes of beads 3 and 4. And so what this allows us to do is continue our going around the circle, and it's all going to be connected. So I'm just going to continue my pattern until I get back to the beginning, and I will come back when I am done. Okay, so I'm to the last little bit of my circle here, so I'm going to just measure to see how many beads will actually fit in there. I'm hoping I can get my 4, so my pattern works out quite nicely. And yeah, it definitely will. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to just go through the very first 2 beads I put on so that my circle is connected. And then I'm going to go down through the leather there. And this time I'm going to do a different thing. I'm going to come up between beads 2 and 3. And I'm not just going to go through those beads, the last 2 that I put on. I'm going to go back through the entire circle, and then when I pull it tight, it's going to actually kind of lift the beads just above the cabochon, and that's going to be like a secondary way of keeping it on there, and it'll make the circle a little bit more uniform. So if it seemed like it wasn't quite a nice circle, this should help make it a little bit straighter. Okay, so I've made it all the way back around, and I'm just going to push through the leather. And now when I pull this nice and tight, it kind of pulls my circle in. And to tie that off, to make sure I don't lose any tension, I'm just going to take a little bit of the leather on the back here. And then as I pull, you kind of make this loop. Go through your loop twice. So I've gone through once, twice, and now when I pull, it's going to make a double knot right there. If you were running out of string, you would do that, and then you could cut off your string. But I think I'm going to leave, I'm going to leave that side. So I am going to cut my string. I'm going to re-knot it. So I'm going to show you a different way this time though. I'm going to fold my working end over my needle loosely, and then I'm going to hold on to the strings on this side and just rotate 1, 2, 3. And now I'm going to pull that down, similar to what we did last time, but sometimes folks find this one easier. So you can actually see how it puts all the knots in one spot. I'm going to go ahead and do the exact same thing on this side. So I'm going to poke up and go all the way around. I'm going to do the same pattern and save the blue for my edge. Okay, so I made it all the way around. So now I'm going to go through all the beads one time in a circle and then secure it on the back to just make sure it's set. Okay, so I've gone all the way around. Now I'm going to go down and secure it on the back. Just like we did before, you're going to pick up a little bit of the leather. And in the loop that we've now created, we're going to go through it twice. So that's once, twice, and pull. So that puts a couple of knots there. Now I can cut this. I will get this knot ready to go. I'll use the Jean Crouchy method again. Now before I start doing my edging, what I like to do is put a little bit of E6000 glue between my layers, between where the cabochons are, so that it just gives it a little bit more security. So I'm going to put a little bit there. And if you don't have E6000, you could use just about any kind of glue. Fabric glue would work. And then I'm just going to line up my two pieces here and put it together just like that. And now we're going to go ahead and do our edging. So of course I want to hide my knot. So I'm going to start up here, going from between my two layers out. So when I pull, my knot is automatically going to get hidden in there. If it's sticking out, just tuck it back in. This time I want to do blue around my edge to make the blue in here pop a little bit too. So I've come up what I'm calling the back right now, and I'm going to go back through the back to the front now. So it's very important that whatever side you're coming out of is the side you go back through both pieces. And then I'm just going to go back through this bead. So this is a single bead stitch, and I could continue doing this all the way around, but I wanted to do a zipper stitch on this one. So I'm actually going to alternate between my colors. So I'm going to go yellow and blue this time, and I'm going to go just a little bit beside the first blue one and pull through. And now this time I'm only going to come back through the blue bead. Don't touch the yellow one. And what's going to happen now, you can see, is the blue beads lie flat like a donut and the yellow bead stands up like a tire. And so this next time I'm going to do a pink one. So whatever bead you put on first will be the one that stands up. I'm going to pull it through. Just like that. And now I've repeated it. And I'm going to continue that all the way around till I get to the other side. Okay, so I'm right on to my very last one here. And so I'm just going to show you how to close it off. I'm going to come back up through this last blue bead. And then I'm just going to pick up a bit of the leather here like we did before. We're going to go through it once, twice, pull, and I'm going to grab the other side of the leather, go through it once, twice, and pull. Now I'm feeling pretty secure there, so I'm going to cut it. I'm going to burn that extra thread, and that is my leather keychain, ready for Father's Day. Now, if you look really closely right here, you're going to see that I've got one donut that's pink instead of blue. So that is my spirit bead, and I did that so that I keep myself humble. If you feel like your project is too perfect, then they say that you should put in a spirit bead so that your project isn't perfect, because the only thing that's perfect, or the only person who's perfect, is the creator. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you had fun. Marcy, miigwech.